Hey guys, welcome to Monday Night Live. I wanted to share some quick facts about some of the conversation that's going on around housing bubbles and if the recent enormous amount of appreciation that we've been experiencing across the region, across the country really, but particularly in our region, are we headed towards a housing bubble? That's been the question. One of the things in looking at that answer is understanding where we've been locally as well as compared to the rest of the country, and what we see moving forward as we move into 2021. So I'm going to share my screen and jump right into some data here. First of all, this is our website, dwellsouthjersey.com. On the site, we can see you can track all of the trends here in the market. We've got stats that are running for all of the counties, as well as the full reports for across the region here, Atlantic County, Gloucester County, Camden County, all the market areas, as well as the greater Philadelphia region. There's a beautiful report that you can access on our site. So before I get there though, I had shared a post a couple of, I guess about a week and a half ago, about the fact that your home may very likely be high on a buyer's wish list this holiday season. And the reality is it's true. There's been some comments recently about the possibility of the market slowing down because we're getting into the holiday season and perhaps there's fewer buyers looking. And the reality is there's been a couple experiences just this week with agents that I've talked to. Steve in my office just listed a house in Gloucester County on, I think, Monday, or no, actually last Thursday or Friday. He currently has 12 offers and expecting a 13th. They're in highest and best. They're expecting to make a decision probably sometime tomorrow. And then Cindy Kazmarski, also from my office, had a home that was scheduled showings, and there were over 70 showings scheduled on a home last week in Summers Point. So crazy demand still continuing in our market, and that should lend a little bit into the story as to whether or not we're headed for a housing bubble. So without further ado, as we dig into whether we're heading for a housing bubble, a couple of things to understand. First of all, as I had mentioned, how we got here, right? So when we look back over the years and we look at the trends that took place since the last housing bubble, as we know, it's been a number of years since we've experienced the bubble of 2006-07 was really the peak of home prices. And the reality is when we look at our local market, even though nationally, most of the rest of the country really outperformed New Jersey, and in particular southern New Jersey, in the early part of the last decade, they started to recover. New Jersey still had a lot of healing to do. New Jersey, for a while, you may remember, was the number one state in the country for bank foreclosures, and in particular southern New Jersey, Atlantic County was the number one county for bank foreclosures. So we saw a deeper fall. We outperformed the rest of the country on the way down, and now what we're doing is we're effectively outperforming the rest of the country on the way up. And I'm going to share another chart here that'll be a little more representative so you can see exactly. This is a 20-year chart going back to the year 2000, where we can see, I'm going to move my picture, where you can see exactly what happened with prices of both single-family homes together with condominiums. And we can see they both reached their bubble in the years between 2006 and 7, really the highest prices. And the sales volume, however, started to decline sharply from 2005 to 2006, maintained very low levels until we started to see inventory, mainly in bank foreclosures, start to increase in 2014, 15, 16. And you can notice while the rest of the country was already appreciating, we were still declining, largely because we had a big bank foreclosure inventory during these years. Once we sold off the lion's share of that bank foreclosure inventory, then you can see our prices started to increase. And now, just as we outperformed the rest of the country during these years in our depreciation, we're now outperforming the rest of the country in these years with our appreciation. So good things that are happening. We can see our sales volume has increased, has reached some higher numbers, declined a little bit the last 2 years, mainly as a result of inventory. We're lacking inventory in our market, and that's been the main contributing factor to low, slightly declining sales numbers. Now, as we move back into, are we headed towards bubble territory? So that's what happened over the course of the last 15 years since the last bubble. Now we've also had an impact on home prices as a result of COVID. If you've seen some of my last reports, you've noticed that we've had very, very low inventories due to a number of reasons for sellers that have been postponing their plans, more or less, to move, because I believe a lot of that inventory is going to come back in the early parts of 2021. But for now, we're dealing with record low inventories. We're dealing with extremely attractive interest rates, which is causing enormous demand. As we move down, in summary, what we're looking at is there's a lot of reasons why this is not a comparison to 2006. Namely, the reasons that I've shared already. We've already gone through the worst of the foreclosure crisis. We are not expecting a redo of what we experienced in those years in 2008, 9, 10 for a number of reasons. And largely, we're also not expecting the demand to diminish in any way. We have extremely attractive interest rates once again. We have the lowest inventory that we've literally ever had. 14 years ago, there were almost 4 million homes listed for sale right now. Today, there are less than half of that. And in addition, new construction has been underproducing the demand that's been in the marketplace locally and across the country for the better part of the last decade. If you saw my video yesterday, we're seeing some new construction come back to market, which is exciting. But for right now, no chances of us hitting bubble territory anytime soon, certainly not 2021, certainly not probably in the next 5 years easily. And so I'm excited for a prosperous 2021. Any questions about this? I know there was a lot of details. I'm going to include the link to that page where that article was in the comments. But any questions you have, please don't hesitate to reach out. Again, as always, I look forward to the information that we provide being the most valuable information that you have available for yourself and your family to make the best decisions regarding real estate. Have a great night, and I'll see you soon.